Hey, what's up everyone? Danny Lightning back with another CSR2 video. Today we are going to be going over all the cars in the race pass. We're going to check out the free ones and the paid ones, and we'll let you know if any of these cars are any good. In the free tier, we've got the Aquila, we got an ATS GT, and we got a 004C. In the paid tier, we got the Solus GT, the TSRS, that one's hard to say for a dyslexic guy, and we got the Copa Camaro 50th Anniversary Edition. So yeah, let's check these things out. We are going to start off with the free cars, so let's check out the first one right about now. I'll tag my favorite content creation gear to this video, plus if you drop down the video's description, you'll find all this and a bunch of other really awesome stuff as well. Alright, let's get back to the video. So the very first car is going to be the Aquila. As far as a live racing setup, I didn't find anything. I would give this like different colored dots if it had good, decent, awesome, amazing live racing setups, but I wasn't able to find anything for live racing on this car. It does have a half-mile time of a 7.316. It'll do 428 miles per hour. It'll do 0 to 60 in a 0.9 and 0 to 100 in about 1.4. So it's got pretty decent stats overall. It's not going to win some live races, which is kind of a bummer. This car will beat the dyno time by maybe about 1/10 of a second-ish. There may be some ways to tune it to beat it by more, but as far as I know, it's a little bit of a dyno beater. Nothing too crazy, but beats dyno by a nice amount. So there's that one. Let's move on to the next car. Next, we have the ATS GT. Doesn't really seem to have any type of good live racing setup that I can find. In the half mile, it does a 7.815, 364 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 0.6, and 0 to 100 in 1.3. So, you know, again, pretty decent looking stats, nothing too crazy. I think this one beats dyno by a little bit over 1/10 of a second, and if you have the stage 6 transmission, there's a glitch with that. You do not want to install that. This one works best with a stage 5 transmission and all the other parts on stage 6. So that is a little bit weird with this car. But again, no real major live racing setup. Just a overall really nice looking decent car. Nothing too crazy. Next, we have the 004C. Again, I didn't find any really good live racing setup, but this car will beat the dyno time by about 4/10 of a second, so it will easily win some live races. But remember, when you're beating the dyno or running faster than your lobby time, the game will pick up your car and it'll move it into a faster lobby, and then it'll do it again and again and again, and next thing you know, you're going to be in a lobby where you can't win. So you got to be really careful with the dyno beating cars, but dyno beating cars will win live races. But there's no low performance point high evo setup for this car that I could find, unfortunately. But this is a pretty cool car. In the half mile, it's doing 7.360, 390 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 0.8, 0 to 100 in about 1.3. So it does have very good stats, and it does beat the dyno by a lot. So out of the free cars, I'm pretty sure I would probably grab the 004C. That would be my first choice. My second choice, man, I don't know. If you'd like to check out the Danny Lightning merch store, there's a link in the video's description. Thank you. Grab the one that looks the nicest. That's the best I can tell you. Get the one that looks best to you, because neither one's excellent in my opinion. They're both going to be very hard to get parts for. I mean, all three of these cars are actually really hard to get parts for because there's not a whole lot of cars from these manufacturers, so parts are a little bit rare, but I guess I would go with the 004C first. And man, between the Aquila and the GT, I guess that's going to be personal preference. I can't really say that one's that much better than the other. I didn't find anything that made one really stand out from the next, so I would say just grab the one that looks the best to you. Alright, so now we're going to check out the cars in the paid tier. We got the Copo, the TSRS, and the Solus GT. One of these cars is going to stand out way above the rest. Alright, let's start off with the Copa Camaro 50th Anniversary Edition. And I really do love these Copa Camaros. They're really cool cars. This one will do a 6.9 in the half mile, 423 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 0.7, and 0 to 100 in around 1.2. So everything on this car is looking pretty good. but there's not much of a live racing tune here. This will beat the dyno time by maybe like 1.5 tenths of a second, so 1.5 tenths of a second. I'm not really sure how you say that, but hopefully you guys get the idea. It's a very cool car. It's a very special car, but you know, it's just kind of average on the stats, but it does have a nice time of 6.9, so that's a pretty fast car overall. Next, we are going to check out the Zenvo TSR-S, and unfortunately, this car doesn't have any type of a live racing setup that I could find either. It's doing 7.173 in the half mile, 496 miles per hour, so this one does have a crazy amount of top speed. 0 to 60 in 0.9, 0 to 100 in about 1.6, so it's a pretty decent car. You know, there's nothing that's really special about it, but the stats are pretty good. This one will beat the dyno by just over a tenth of a second. I mean, you got to get perfect runs to beat the dyno on these. It's not going to be easy to beat the dyno, but it can beat it by just a little over a tenth of a second. I don't think there's really anything too crazy or too interesting about this car besides it looks amazing. It is a very, very cool looking car. The car is beautiful, but it's just pretty decent. It's pretty sad to say these cars with these kind of specs are nothing but decent these days, because those look like some pretty good specs, but they just keep making these things faster and faster and crazier all the time. And then finally, we have the McLaren Solus GT. As you guys know, McLaren parts are very, very, very easy to get, so that's a huge plus. This car does have an excellent low performance point high evo setup that makes it really good for live racing. I do have a video on how to drive this car already, so you guys might want to check that out. It shows you the live racing setup and everything else. It'll do 6.557 in the half mile. This is one of the fastest cars in the game. I think it might be number 2. Let me double check on that, but it's probably like the second or third fastest car in the game right now. It is the third fastest car in the game right now. 0 to 60 in 0.5, 0 to 100 in 0.8, and 437 miles per hour. So this beats all the other cars in every single aspect, except for it doesn't have quite as high as of a top speed as one of the other cars, but who cares? 437 miles per hour is more than fast enough. It will naturally beat the dyno by almost, not quite, but almost 2 tenths of a second. You might be able to tune it to make it beat the dyno more, but it does have the low performance point high evo setup, which is going to be great for beating the dyno. I think beating the dyno and beating live races. But yeah, this is basically the one to get out of the 3. So the Copo is really cool. I love that car, but it's nothing special. Nothing stands out other than the way it looks. The TSR-S, again, nothing's really great about it other than it's a beautiful car. And then you've got the Solus GT, which is just amazing. So again, first pick, McLaren Solus GT. Second and third picks, oh man, that's one of those deals where I think you just grab the one that you like better. Now, Chevy parts are going to be way easier to get than Zenvo parts, so I would probably go with the Chevy just for the fact that good luck getting any parts for that Zenvo. Once you have the Purple Star cars, the parts are paid. The crates, when you open a crate, they're paid, so that is something you definitely got to think about there when opening any type of Purple Star crates, because I don't know if they're like $3 or $4 or $6 or $3,000 per crate, but it'll cost you a pretty penny to open crates for these Purple Star cars. So I would say definitely go with the McLaren. You can at least get fusion parts for that easily. It's got the low performance point high evo live racing setup. It's just hands down better than the other cars all the way. So I think there's one clear winner for the free tier and there's one clear winner for the paid tier, and the rest of the cars are just kind of besides the fact that they're all beautiful cars. Alright, I just want to say thanks for watching. That's pretty much going to wrap the video up. Don't forget to drop down in the video's description or check out the pinned comment. You'll find my affiliate links where you can get all kinds of really cool stuff. That'll also help support the channel. Huge shout out to my channel members. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate each and every one of you a lot. If you would like to become a channel member, just click the little button right below the video. That helps the channel keep running and keep bringing you videos just like this. For example, when my computer broke, oh, I hit the wrong button. For example, when my computer broke, all the extra support helped me pay off the bills to fix it. So thank you guys. That support really does help the channel keep bringing you videos like this. I really do appreciate you guys big time. Thank you for watching my videos. Even just watching more of my videos helps out. A couple more of them will be popping up on the screen in just a second in case you're interested in watching them. And here comes my evil twin with a crazy song, and thanks for watching. Catch you guys later. Thanks for watching my video. I hate to say, but it's time to go. Maybe you could watch another one. That might be really fun. Thanks for watching my video. Thanks for watching my video. Thanks for